Keep on the watch. That's what Jesus told his disciples after describing the events of the last days. How long have you been keeping on the watch?
Well, the Jehovah's Witnesses have been keeping on the watch for a very long time, haven't they, friends? So much so that they have go bags packed and ready by the car in anticipation of further undisclosed instructions. Hi, friends. This is my recap of Governing Body Update number 8. It's basically more of the same fear-mongering, plus we're going to have a little look at the November global campaign again, which I find very alarming. Take a look.
We are certainly experiencing critical times, hard to deal with. These are the conditions we've been preaching about for years. Reflect on the timeliness of the November campaign publicizing God's kingdom.
According to the Dallas Weekly, now all of the links that I discuss in this update will be down below in the description box. 1.3 million Jehovah's Witnesses in the United States and more than 8.5 million globally embarked on a campaign to reach hundreds of millions of people, including those in office and those running. That's what the Dallas Weekly reported. Let me remind you what one Watchtower from 2016 had to say. The God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed. It will crush and put an end to all these human kingdoms.
In Luke 21:11, Jesus said we would see food shortages and pestilences in one place after another. Well, we are now experiencing the fulfillment of this part of the sign in a very pronounced way.
No, we're not, friends. Look at Luke 21:11 and see for yourself. At the top of the slide, I'm not going to read this slide, but it's there if you choose to. But look, are there fearful sights and great signs from heaven? I don't see them. Jesus was speaking about different times, friends, not this time that we're living in right now.
In the following interview, Brother Richard Kelsey shares his thoughts about what's helped him to keep on the watch for some 80 years.
I was baptized in June 1941 in Des Moines, Iowa. This was shortly before the International Convention in St. Louis, Missouri. And Brother Rutherford gave the talk, Children of the King. And during this talk at the conclusion, he said, there's a new book, the Children Book, and you will all get a free copy. That motivated me greatly. And I started pioneering in September 1948. We see world conditions worsening, and that could frighten us. It could be that faithful older ones would become discouraged after many years. And it's very important to have a close relationship with Jehovah, an intimate relationship. We look forward to his kingdom rule as the solution for all problems. Well, when we heard that there was going to be a special campaign now, Peggy and I, my wife and I, applied for auxiliary pioneer service. We have been preaching God's kingdom for many years, and now there's a special campaign devoted to that subject, God's kingdom, and it's going to be a highlight in our many years of service to Jehovah.
People around the world realize how unusual it is to have a pandemic, food shortages, civil unrest, earthquakes, and other disasters all occur at the same time. Watching the fulfillment of Bible prophecies builds our confidence in other prophecies yet to be fulfilled. As Daniel 2:44 tells us, soon God's kingdom will become the only government ruling over the earth, forever. Isn't it exciting that amidst these critical times, we are participating in a special campaign clearly pointing people to the only real solution, God's kingdom?
Here is a sample letter that I found on jw.org. Notice that the publishers are to put their personal information on these letters that will be going out to the elected officials. If these elected officials open up the Watchtower that's included in this and they turn to page 4, this is what they're going to see, and I'm going to read it to you. The first human ruler mentioned in the Bible was Nimrod, and he rebelled against Jehovah's rulership. Ever since Nimrod's day, powerful men have abused their positions of authority. Some 3,000 years ago, King Solomon wrote, I saw the tears of the oppressed, and there was no one to comfort them, and their oppressors had the power. Things are no different today. In 2009, a United Nations publication said that bad rulership is increasingly being viewed as one of the root causes of all evil within our societies. So the Jehovah's Witnesses, the rank and file publishers, are implementing this massive global letter writing campaign and including this Watchtower magazine in there about God's rulership. They're sending them in envelopes with their own return addresses on them to the elected officials, and they're basically telling the elected officials that they are the root causes of all of the evil in our societies. How do you think this is going to go over, friends? What do you think is going to happen to the publishers if the elected officials consider this a threat? I find this so very alarming. I encourage you to watch Jason Zelda's video entitled The Untold Story Behind Russia Banning Jehovah's Witnesses. I've placed a link down in the description box. Be sure to watch it. He discusses another letter writing campaign in Russia and the impact that it had. Can you understand my concern? It's almost like with all the madness that's been going on with the organization, the charges, the formal charges, the lawsuits, the pedophilia cover-up, and everything else that's been going on, it's almost like they're trying to cause their own little mini version of persecution, Armageddon, towards the publishers. I just really pray for them, friends. We need to really pray for the rank and file Jehovah's Witnesses who are still in the organization at such a time as this.
Just a few months ago, life was very different. This is a very good lesson for us on how fast things can change in the future. Hasn't the fast-changing world situation heightened your appreciation for the need to prove yourselves ready? Rather than allowing distractions to diminish our spiritual alertness, now more than ever, we need to pray, study, attend meetings, and stay active in the ministry.
Anyway, there's much more fear-mongering in this video that I chose to edit out, and with the push for more work for the average Jehovah's Witness. It's the same story, friends. But that's it for this governing body update, friends. It's almost like a horror story, a horror movie, and my friends and family who are still within the organization, they're the victims in this horror movie. They really need to be lifted up in prayer so that they can escape from this organization. Thanks for watching, friends. I hope you have a great day.